I invite you, if you have a chalice at home, to go get it quick. Press pause. And when you have it, come back because we're going to light the chalice. Now, my chalice has an electronic light. It's a pretty sweet one. You're right, I didn't say the words. You're welcome to do so. Go ahead, I'm waiting. You can say them. Thank you. It's Sunday, December 29th, 2024, and we, First Unitarian Universalist Society of Burlington, we're not meeting in person. This is one of the ways that the congregation takes care of staff. We tend to have the week off between the 25th of December and January 1st. And week off is close to true. I actually call it a low work week, but it's one in which the congregation doesn't expect a Sunday service so that we can truly not have to work or work much less. That said, I have mixed feelings about not making sure that there is a Sunday service on every Sunday. It seems really important. People's spiritual needs don't just go away just because staff needs time off, time to rest. They've been working hard. They deserve it. Even I deserve it. But the idea of still having something, this virtual thing, this pre-recorded thing, seems like a good idea. I wanted, if some of you didn't get the message that we aren't meeting on the 29th in person, I wanted there to be a sign there that would say, not go away, why didn't you know? I wanted there to be a sign that said, oh, so sorry you didn't get the message, but you can find us online. So here's a small reflection on the coming year. Now, one of the things that I think of as a returning thread in my spiritual life is the spiral, the 4-point spiral that Joanna Macy and the work that reconnects created. The 4-point spiral begins with grounding ourselves in gratitude. The second point is honoring our pain. The third point is perceiving with new and ancient eyes. And the fourth point is going forth. Ground ourselves in gratitude, honor our pain, see in new or ancient ways, and go forth. And I think it's a really good way to engage the end of one year and the beginning of the next. So that's going to be the structure for this small reflection on the coming year. The first poem to bring us into or notice that we are already in the spiral of the work that reconnects, that grounds us in gratitude, is called, aptly, Winter Morning, and it comes from Vermont poet James Cruz. When I can no longer say thank you for this new day and the waking into it, for the cold scrape of the kitchen chair and the ticking of the space heater glowing orange as it warms the floor near my feet, I know it's because I've been fooled again by the selfish, unruly man who lives inside me and believes he deserves only safety and comfort. But if I pause, as I do now, and watch the street lights outside flashing off one by one, like old men blinking their cloudy eyes, if I listen to my tired neighbors slamming car doors hard against the morning, and see the steaming coffee in their mugs, kissing chapped lips as they sip and exhale each of their worries white into the icy air around their faces, then I can remember this one life is a gift to each of us. Then I can remember this one life is a gift each of us was handed and told to open. Untie the bow and tear off the paper. Look inside and be grateful for whatever you find, even if it is only the scent of a tangerine that lingers on the fingers long after you've finished peeling it. I invite you to spend a few moments, whether sparked by that poem or just the slowing down and centering yourself, connecting with something grand, no matter how large or small, for which you can sense gratitude blooming within yourself. Go ahead. This is truly an invitation to do it now. I'll hold the space while you do. May the gratitude that blooms within you find many flowers, be watered well, and if that was not the time for your gratitude to bloom, may you surrender to trust that it will come. The second point of the spiral is honoring our pain. And this may be a time when you want to turn away. Pain is hard. And sometimes when we name it, its weight lessens, but sometimes it just feels calcified. It's hard to trust that the suffering that comes with pain is something that we can find our relationship with and to. Sometimes it's hard to trust that others will be able to witness our pain without judgment, without trying to fix it unless we ask. But with the ground of gratitude solidly underneath us, it can be easier to name our pain. It can be easier to risk trust in naming our pain with someone else present. Sometimes the pain of others can make us think that we must make our own pain small, and that is not my invitation to you at all. I'm not interested in competition or comparison. Pain is pain. So I invite you, when I share this poem from the Somali British poet Warsan Shire, I invite you to recognize both the particular pain that she names, the pain that comes from being a refugee and a refugee from violence, but also the pain that we are all in the midst of a world that is on fire. This poem is entitled What They Did Yesterday Afternoon, and like I said, it's by Warsan Shire. They set my aunt's house on fire. I cried the way women on TV do, folding at the middle like a 5-pound note. I called the boy who used to love me, tried to okay my voice. I said hello. He said, Warson, what's wrong? What's happened? I've been praying, and these are what my prayers look like. Dear God, I come from 2 countries. One is thirsty, one is on fire. Both need water. Later that night, I held an atlas in my lap, ran my fingers across the whole world, and whispered, where does it hurt? It answered, everywhere. 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 I invite you to take a breath, whatever your body needs in this moment, and bow to a poet who names pain. And bow to yourself and the pain you've experienced. And bow to yourself and the trust that healing is possible. So the poem that I've chosen to help us see with new or ancient eyes is a poem from, it's not really a poem, it's actually a blessing, from Jan Richardson. And it is called The Year as a House. So the invitation here is, as one year is ending and the new year is beginning, to invite you to think of the year as a shelter, as a place of refuge. And of course, not just a place of refuge for yourself, but for as many others as we can. And given the year and the years that we are facing, given what the incoming federal administration is promising to do, it is our job to hold up sanctuary. So here is the year as a house, a blessing, for the 3rd point in our spiral. Think of the year as a house, door flung wide in welcome, threshold swept and waiting, a graced spaciousness opening and offering itself to you. Let it be blessed in every room. Let it be hallowed in every corner. Let every nook be a refuge and every object set to holy use. Let it be here that safety will rest. Let it be here that health will make its home. Let it be here that peace will show its face. Let it be here that love will find its way. Here, let the weary come. Let the aching come. Let the lost come. Let the sorrowing come. Here, let them find their rest and let them find their soothing. Let them find their place and let them find their delight. And may it be in this house of a year that the seasons will spin in beauty. And may it be in these turning days that time will spiral with joy. And may it be that its rooms will fill with ordinary grace and light spill from every window to welcome the stranger home. The 4th point on the spiral is going forth. Seems pretty apt for a new year. We must go forth. if we're breathing. So I think instead of a poem, I have for you a song. Actually, I have two songs for you. I want to end this with a New Year's song. But maybe before that, I want to end with a more spiritual song, a song that I often sing to myself, and I actually enjoy teaching others. I learned this from UU Barbara Ford, who's an artist on the West Coast. She was kind enough to teach this to me once. So I try and keep it alive. It's called I'm Gonna Let Life Move Me. And she didn't know who wrote it, and I don't know who wrote it. I'm thankful for whoever they were, and it might be lost to posterity. I'm gonna let life move me. I'm gonna let life stir me deep. I'm gonna let life awake me from an ancient sleep. I'm gonna laugh all my laughter. I'm gonna cry all my tears. I'm gonna love the rain just as deeply as the sun when it clears. To me, this song is about equanimity. It's about having all the feelings and letting them move through me, not barring or guarding against one or another, or any of them. It's about experiencing joy. It's about experiencing kind of everything. So it goes, I'm gonna let life move me. You would sing that. I'm gonna let life stir me deep. I'm gonna let life awake me from an ancient sleep. I'm gonna laugh all my laughter. I'm gonna cry all my tears. I'm gonna love the rain just as deeply as the sun when it clears. I'm going to sing it all the way through now. I hope you'll sing with me. I'm gonna let life move me. I'm gonna let life stir me deep. I'm gonna let life awake me from an ancient sleep. I'm gonna laugh all my laughter. I'm gonna cry all my tears. I'm gonna love the rain just as deeply as the sun when it clears. I hope you enjoyed that. I enjoyed singing it. I hope I get to sing it with you in real time with our bodies vibrating in the same space. That would be great. So the service, this virtual service, this end of year, new year service is going to come to an end with, it's time to extinguish the chalice. We extinguish this chalice, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts and share with the world until we are together again. Enjoy our going out song. There's a song that used to be sung at my children's hippy-dippy K-8 school. It was part of our winter solstice celebration. I brought some of those songs to our winter solstice Sunday service on the 22nd, and here's a song that's really not so much about the winter solstice so much as about the new year. And I think of it as an earworm. It's something that I sing to myself, and I do the hand gestures at the end, and probably if anybody sees me doing it, they probably think I'm a little bit wacky. But it's my gift to you for the new year, and I hope it becomes an earworm for you. It's a round. I'm a single person right in this space, so I won't be able to sing it as a round, but you can imagine it as a round. So here we go. And you might remember, I love singing, but I make much more of a joyful noise than I do a pretty noise. But I'm good with that, and I hope you are too. Ring it in the new year. Ring it in the new year. Bells are ringing, bells are ringing, bells are ringing, bells are ringing. Peace and love throughout the new year. Peace and love throughout the new year. Joy, joy, joy. Joy, joy, joy. Here I am, wishing you joy throughout the new year. May it be so. I look forward to being with you in 2025.